As I'm standing in the living room, just sort of trying to decide what to do, and my guide says, "They're not why we're here," when we're looking at all the dead people, I open a doorway to the other side, because that's usually what we do. If there's dead anywhere, first thing we do is open a door, show them all where to cross. Almost always, they all just go. For whatever reason, they've gotten turned around, they've forgotten what's going on, they're confused, and once you open that door, it's like, oh, now I know where to go, and they go. As they started filing out, it's like fog started to clear, and I can see what looks like a very freaking angry 8 or 9-year-old girl. She was Caucasian. She had long hair that was kind of in braids. Did not look like Wednesday from the Addams Family, but she was pissed. The feeling around her was not one of a 9-year-old girl. The feeling around her was pure malevolence. I mean, horror movie level malevolence. Wow, that was, like I said that without screwing it up. And she was super pissed that we were taking away her dead. That was her words. What are you doing with my dead? It's not very often that entities like that, or malevolent dead, try to have a conversation, and we don't often encourage it. If they're not supposed to be there, they're not supposed to be there. Bottom line is, there's no point in trying to have a conversation with crazy. And a lot of times when they're stuck like that, they're not rational. They're not going to be able to give you a valid reason for why they're there. And if you've opened a doorway for most of the dead to cross, whoever's left over is going to need a nudge. In this situation, she was full on confrontation. What are you doing with my dead? I asked my guide who she was, because I didn't engage her. He said, no, she was a living girl at one time, a very precocious living girl at one time, who had gotten angry at the fact that she had died and absolutely refused to go on to whatever came next. I said, was somebody there to meet her? He said, yeah, they were there. She refused. She decided that she wasn't ready to go, regardless of what kind of enticement she was offered, that the other side would be better. And because she was immature and willful and spoiled and probably would not have grown up to be a nice person, she just decided she wasn't going to go anywhere. And because of proximity to whatever that place was, the hospital or the assisted living facility, she had a pipeline of people she could round up to boss around. She was this little evil welcoming committee at death that hung out in proximity to where these dead were, and whoever she could kind of grasp away from whatever came next, that's what she was doing. I asked my guide, what is she doing with them? He said, they're her toys. He showed me what any normal 9-year-old girl of that time would have done. They would have had their dolls and their toys and playing house. She considered them her little army that would do whatever she wanted. And she was ruthless. She was not nice. And the fact that the people who lived in the house were picking up on this feeling of malevolence made a lot of sense, because it rolled off her like perfume. We dealt with the little girl, but my guide said this is not going to be a permanent fix. Someone who owns the property created this. So how are we going to deal with them?